Today we open our hearts and lift our voices in faith to call upon the miraculous intercession of Saint Anthony of Padua, the saint of the impossible, the comforter of the afflicted, and the friend of those in desperate need. If you are facing a situation that seems hopeless, if your soul is burdened by fear, loss, or longing, I invite you to pause and pray with us in this sacred moment. Together we will place our petitions in the loving hands of this powerful saint, trusting that his help will reach us where human efforts have failed. Saint Anthony has long been known as the wonder worker, a holy servant whose faith moved mountains and whose prayers have brought light into countless dark hours. For those who are seeking a miracle, whether it be healing, reconciliation, financial rescue, or divine guidance, Saint Anthony stands ready to intercede with compassion and heavenly strength. As a beautiful gesture of unity and faith, I invite you to write in the comments, "Saint Anthony, I trust in your help today." This small act can open a door for divine grace to enter your life. Your words may even inspire others to believe once more. Thank you for being here and for opening your heart in this moment of prayer. If you haven't already, please subscribe and click the like button so that we can continue spreading this message of hope to many others in need. Remember, no prayer goes unheard and no cry for help is ever wasted. Share this video with someone who needs a miracle today. Together we form a chain of faith, and each link strengthens the power of our collective prayer. Let us now begin this heartfelt invocation to Saint Anthony of Padua, asking him to intervene with power, urgency, and mercy before the throne of our Almighty God. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. O blessed Saint Anthony of Padua, humble servant of the Most High, chosen vessel of divine favor, today I come before your holy presence with a heart weighed down by urgency and pierced by the sorrow of an impossible situation. I do not come lightly, nor do I speak empty words, for my need is real, and my spirit trembles as I kneel before your image, seeking the miracle that no human hand can give, the grace that only heaven can bestow. You, O Saint of Wonders, who once held the Christ child in your arms, who walked with the light of truth in your soul, hear me now from the heights of glory where you dwell, and let your compassion reach into the shadows of my despair. Saint Anthony, you are the refuge of the hopeless, the voice for the voiceless, the strength of those who are too weak to go on. You have seen the face of Christ. You have tasted the sweetness of divine mercy. You know what it is to live in the presence of the miraculous. And so, with a cry that comes from the depths of my being, I turn to you asking, no pleading, for your help. Intercede for me, dear Saint, as you have done for so many throughout the centuries. Let your prayers rise like incense before the throne of God, carrying with them the full weight of my petition, which I now lay at your feet with trembling hands and a broken heart. There are moments in life, Saint Anthony, when all doors seem closed, when time feels like a cruel enemy, and hope flickers like a candle caught in the wind. This is such a moment for me. I find myself surrounded by impossibilities, trapped in a circumstance that defies logic, that resists every solution, every plan, every human effort. I have tried, I have waited, I have believed, and yet the answer does not come. The burden grows heavier with each passing day. And so I come to you, not as someone perfect or worthy, but as someone desperate, someone who still believes that with God and through your intercession, even the impossible can be made possible. You who have been called the miracle worker, you who are known for finding what was lost, for restoring what was broken, for healing what was beyond repair, please come to my aid now. Let your presence surround me like a cloak of peace. Let your prayers rise up as a storm of light to break through the darkness that surrounds my life. I am asking you, Saint Anthony, with tears in my soul and a voice full of faith, to present my need before the Lord. I ask for a miracle, not in pride, not in entitlement, but in deep humility and trust. Look upon my heart, Saint Anthony. See the anguish that resides within. I know you understand the human soul. I know you have felt pain and loss, joy and longing, surrender and divine grace. I know that you are not distant, not unreachable, but close, so close to those who call upon you with sincerity and truth. I need you now, dear saint. I need you to stand beside me in this battle. I need your prayers to pierce the heavens and draw down the help I cannot find on earth. There are prayers that are whispered in silence, prayers that are too fragile to be spoken aloud. These are the ones I bring you now. I may not have the perfect words. My voice may shake. My faith may feel worn. But I offer all that I have to this moment of sacred connection. With you, Saint Anthony, I am not alone. With you, I am joined to a stream of grace that flows directly from the heart of Christ. You are the saint of divine favor, the one who opens paths that have long been shut. You know what it is to call upon God with holy boldness and to receive an answer. You have witnessed the miraculous. You have carried the impossible in your hands. And now I ask you to carry me, to carry my need, my cry, my longing, my fear, into the merciful heart of Jesus. Ask him to look upon me not with judgment, but with tender compassion. Ask him to send the answer swiftly, in power and in peace. Saint Anthony, your life was a light in the darkness. Let that light shine over my situation now. Let your intercession bring clarity where there is confusion, healing where there is pain, solution where there is chaos, and calm where there is anxiety. Be my advocate, my defender, my spiritual companion. Let my cry be your cry. Let my tears be gathered in your prayers. Let heaven hear you speak my name before the Lord, and let the miracle I need be released in divine timing and holy love. If it be the will of God, I ask that you obtain for me this urgent miracle. Let it be done not by my will, but by the wisdom of the Almighty. I trust that what is meant for me will not pass me by. But I also ask that you give me the strength to endure, the courage to believe, and the patience to wait in hope. Wrap me in your gentleness, Saint Anthony, and remind me that miracles are born not only in the moment of victory, but also in the struggle of faith. You who comfort the grieving, uplift the broken-hearted, and strengthen the weary, comfort me now. Let me feel your presence close and real. Let me hear the whisper of heaven saying, "Do not fear. Help is on the way." Let my soul rest in the knowledge that I have not been forgotten, that even in this impossible hour, the hand of God is moving. Use your holy influence, Saint Anthony, to bring peace to my mind, healing to my heart, and a breakthrough to my life. I am not asking for riches or fame, but for divine intervention in this moment of deepest need. I thank you, Saint Anthony, not only for what you will do, but for what you have already done. I thank you for every unseen prayer you've whispered on behalf of those who suffer. I thank you for being a friend to the lost, the hurting, the desperate. I thank you for your unwavering faith, your radiant love, and your boundless mercy. May I walk in your footsteps even as I wait for this miracle. May I trust as you trusted and love as you loved. O Saint Anthony, faithful servant of the Word made flesh, I return to you still clothed in longing, still holding tightly to the thread of faith that connects me to your heart and to the heart of heaven. I have spoken to you, and now I wait, not in despair but in expectant hope, for I believe that my prayer did not fall into silence but was carried by your intercession like a flame in the wind, guided toward the divine ears of the Almighty. Yet even in this moment of waiting, I find my soul unsettled, for the weight of impossibility still presses on my chest. The urgency has not faded, and so I continue to pray, to cry, to beg with all the strength that remains in me. Saint Anthony, I know you understand what it means to wrestle with time, to feel the human ache for immediate relief while surrendering to divine timing. You who spent hours and days in deep contemplation and prayer, know what it is to walk the space between asking and receiving. Teach me, holy intercessor, to walk that space with grace. Do not let anxiety steal the seeds of faith that I planted with tears in the garden of my need. Nurture that garden with your prayers. Water it with your heavenly intercession. Let the roots of trust grow strong even as I wait for the miracle to bloom. I ask again, Saint Anthony, not because I doubt, but because my heart is burdened beyond endurance. You are the saint of the afflicted, the restorer of the broken, the finder of what is lost, not only of physical things but of hope, of peace, of life's meaning in the midst of chaos. I ask you now to help me find what I have lost: my calm, my direction, my sense of divine nearness. If the answer to my plea is not yet ready to manifest, then let your consolation descend upon me like a mantle. Wrap me in the spiritual warmth of your presence so I will not grow cold in despair. There is a pain in waiting, dear saint, a subtle torment that creeps into the corners of the soul. It whispers lies, feeding the fear that perhaps heaven is silent, that perhaps no miracle will come. And yet I rebuke that fear in your name with your help, for I believe you are already working, already praying, already standing in the courts of God, speaking my name with unwavering conviction. Strengthen my belief. Help me resist the pull of hopelessness. Let my lips continue to praise even when the answer delays, for you know well that praise in the waiting is itself a form of miracle. Saint Anthony, I do not pray alone. All around the world there are those who call upon you with aching hearts. And yet you are never overwhelmed, never distracted, never too far. You have heard every cry, seen every tear, held every plea. That is why I trust you. That is why I speak so boldly to you now. I believe in your nearness, your tenderness, your tireless love for those who suffer. You are not distant, not indifferent, but present and powerful, even here, even now, in this moment of my deepest urgency. I come to you not only for myself, Saint Anthony, but for those around me who are affected by this situation. The weight I carry is not mine alone. Others are watching, hoping, fearing, and praying alongside me. Please intercede not only for me but for those I love, those who are suffering in silence, those whose lives have been touched by this crisis. Let your intercession bring peace not only to my soul but to the circle of people affected by my circumstances. Let your prayers extend outward like ripples in water, touching every person who stands in need of a miracle right now. Holy Saint, there is nothing hidden from your eyes, for your gaze is lit by the eternal light of God. You see what I cannot see. You know what I cannot know. You are not confused by tangled paths or uncertain timelines. Where I see only closed doors, you see openings yet to come. Where I feel stuck, you know there is a way forward. Where I am afraid, you are already walking in courage. So I lean not on my understanding but on your wisdom and the greater wisdom of the one you serve. Lead me gently, Saint Anthony. Walk with me through this valley of uncertainty and impossibility, and lead me to the mountain of divine response. I long for the miracle, Saint Anthony, not for pride or vanity or personal gain, but because my soul cries out for divine rescue. I long for resolution. I long for mercy. I long for a moment when the weight lifts, the night ends, and the dawn of answered prayer finally rises. Let this be that season. Let this be that dawn. I am not asking to avoid pain or to escape growth, but to be given a sign that heaven has heard me, that the God who opened the eyes of the blind and raised the dead still moves in power through the prayers of his saints. If the answer comes in a whisper, let me hear it. If it comes in a storm, let me stand through it. If it comes in silence, let me trust it. But if, by your holy intercession, it can come quickly, clearly, and completely, then I ask with all the fire of my heart, bring it now, O Saint of Miracles. Bring it as you have brought countless miracles to those who have gone before me. Bring it as a testimony to the faithfulness of God and the mercy that lives in his heart. Bring it, and let your name be praised not only in heaven but here on earth, through the miracle that you obtain. Saint Anthony, there is a sacred mystery in your closeness to the Lord. You were chosen, anointed, and set apart, not for your own glory but for the glory of the one who worked through you. I do not come to you as to a god, but as to a faithful servant, a powerful advocate, a gentle brother in the communion of saints. And it is to that communion that I cling now, believing that when the people of God pray together, on earth and in heaven, miracles are born. Join your voice to mine. Let the space between us disappear in this act of faith. Touch my situation, Saint Anthony, not with human hands, but with the grace-filled light of your prayer. Let the chains of impossibility break. Let the delays be undone. Let the barriers fall. Let healing rush in like a river. Let provision overflow like oil. Let reconciliation begin where there has only been silence. Let my miracle become a living witness to your powerful intercession and to the unfailing love of God. Let this moment not pass in vain. Let it mark the beginning of a new chapter, one written not in despair, but in answered prayer and divine restoration. And while I wait, I promise to walk in faith, to speak words of hope, and to carry others in prayer as you now carry me. I will not let the enemy steal my peace or darken my heart with doubt. I will stand on the promise that nothing is impossible with God and that those who trust in Him will never be put to shame. I will honor you, Saint Anthony, not only in desperation but also in gratitude, for I believe that my miracle is already on its way. Saint Anthony, my voice continues to rise to heaven through the echo of your name, through the strength of your intercession, and through the silent cries of my soul that long for divine movement. I have laid my burdens at your feet, and though my spirit is weary from waiting, I have not let go of faith. The winds of anxiety still blow, the shadows of doubt still lurk, but I am rooted in the belief that your prayers, which are filled with compassion and fervor, are already unlocking doors I cannot see. In this sacred act of faith, I press onward, believing that you are still listening, still present, and still guiding my need into the hands of the Almighty. You who were known for preaching truth with fire and passion, for defending the oppressed, for healing the sick and raising the broken, do not turn from me now. I need you more than ever, not only for the miracle I seek, but for the spiritual strength to endure this valley of waiting. I need your guidance, your wisdom, and your clarity. I need your courage to be my courage. I need your unwavering devotion to remind me that even in silence, God is working, even in stillness, heaven is listening, and even in tears, there is hope. Saint Anthony, I ask you now, walk through the places I cannot walk. Speak in the spaces I cannot speak. Move in the circumstances where I am powerless. You are the saint of divine intervention, the servant who sees beyond earthly boundaries, the soul who loved Jesus so purely that even today your words are power, your presence is healing, and your memory is like a balm to the afflicted. Stand by me now. Go before me. Fight for me. Pray for me. Let your voice be louder than my fears as it rises in prayer before the throne of mercy. There are moments when I question everything. When the storm rages so fiercely that it drowns out every whisper of peace. When every door seems shut and every road seems broken. It is in those moments that I cling to your legacy, Saint Anthony, the legacy of faith in the face of impossibility. You believed when belief was dangerous. You spoke truth when silence was safer. You followed Christ when the path was steep and full of sacrifice. You knew what it meant to suffer with purpose, to be misunderstood, and yet to keep your eyes on heaven. Teach me to endure like you did. Teach me to hold on to the promise even when my hands tremble. Teach me to pray not only with words but with the fire of persistence. Let my cries become fuel for heaven's flame. Let my desperation become a doorway to deeper surrender. Let the miracle I seek not only restore my situation but transform my spirit, my character, and my relationship with God. Because in truth, Saint Anthony, more than even the miracle, I desire the nearness of the divine. I desire to know the presence of God the way you knew it, intimately, deeply, and without fear. You were never afraid to ask for the impossible. You knew that the power of God could surpass nature, logic, and time. You knew that when prayers are aligned with faith and hearts are open, even the most desperate situations can be rewritten by grace. So I ask you again with no shame and no hesitation, intercede for me in this impossible cause. Speak my request with urgency. May your words carry the weight of my suffering and the hope of my deliverance. May your prayers open the skies and draw down the miracle I so desperately seek. And while I wait for heaven's response, I ask that you teach me how to carry peace within me. The kind of peace you carried while preaching among the poor, while healing the wounded, while confronting injustice. Let that peace be mine. Let it still my fears and calm my heartbeat. Let it guard my mind and soul from all the lies of despair. Let it shine so brightly within me that even in this valley of uncertainty, I become a witness to others of God's sustaining love. Saint Anthony, I do not seek comfort in fleeting things. I do not put my trust in chance or fate or human promises. My eyes are lifted higher, to you, my intercessor, and through you to the throne of God Himself. You are a bridge between my suffering and divine mercy. You are a candle in my darkness, a sign that I am not forgotten. You are a friend in the heavenly courts, always ready to plead on behalf of those who are lost, broken, or in urgent need of intervention. Look at me now, Saint Anthony, not with pity but with love. Not as someone helpless but as someone hopeful. I may be wounded but I am still standing. I may be desperate but I have not given up. I may be tired but I will not be silenced. I will continue to pray, to hope, to believe. And I will do so because you are here and because I believe that in your presence, miracles still happen. I have read the stories, I have heard the testimonies, and I know your intercession is real, your compassion is boundless, and your power through Christ is undeniable. I know that God moves through His saints, not because they are divine, but because they are deeply united with His heart. You, Saint Anthony, are united with that heart. And I trust that you are already whispering my name before the one who holds all power, all authority, and all healing. I may not see the answer yet, but I choose to thank you in advance. I choose to praise before the breakthrough. I choose to believe that nothing I have prayed has been in vain. Strengthen me now, Saint Anthony, in my weakest hour. Guide my thoughts away from fear and into faith. Shield me from hopelessness. Deliver me from bitterness. Let the chains of worry fall away. And let your intercession stir the heavens. Let the hand of God move quickly, and let His miracle fall upon my life like holy rain. Let it wash away every trace of sorrow, every sign of struggle, and every echo of doubt. And when the miracle comes, and I believe it will, I will not forget your name. I will tell others of your kindness, your power, and your intercession. I will light candles in your honor. I will kneel in thanksgiving. I will pass forward the grace I have received. I will become a witness that nothing is truly impossible when a heart is open and a saint is praying. So here I am, Saint Anthony, still praying, still believing, still knocking at the door of heaven through you. I entrust you with this prayer and with all the silent cries of my heart. May they be transformed into songs of joy in the perfect time of God. Saint Anthony, beloved wonder-worker, as I continue to pour my heart into this prayer, I feel the deep stirrings of surrender rising within me. You have walked beside me through every word, through every tear, through every whisper of fear and hope. And now, as I reach the final petitions of this sacred cry, I lay everything down before you with complete humility. I open every hidden part of my soul, the doubt, the exhaustion, the longing, the faith that refuses to die, and I entrust it to you as one would entrust treasure to the most trusted guardian. You are not only the saint of miracles, Saint Anthony. You are a teacher of perseverance, a guide through the valleys of despair, and a living reflection of Christ's mercy. And so, I no longer try to carry this weight alone. I place it entirely in your hands. Every detail of this impossible situation, Every name involved, every broken path, every blocked door. I surrender it all to your intercession, trusting that you will bring it into the radiant light of God's will. Saint Anthony of Padua, as I now prepare to conclude this prayer, I thank you, not only for the miracle I believe is coming, but for the strength you have given me in the waiting. I feel your presence beside me like a friend, like a holy flame that refuses to be extinguished even in the darkest night. Your intercession has become my anchor. Your faith has become my inspiration. And your love for the suffering has become my own source of hope. Even if my eyes have not yet seen the full miracle, my heart rejoices in the certainty that heaven has heard. I believe something is already shifting in the invisible realm, because I chose to trust, to kneel, to speak, and to invite your holy voice to join mine. Thank you, Saint Anthony, for taking my cause as your own. Thank you for lifting my heart when it was too heavy to carry. Thank you for standing between my cry and God's mercy, praying without rest until the blessing comes. I will honor your name. I will spread this devotion. I will walk forward in peace, knowing I am not alone. And when the miracle comes, and I know it will, I will testify that your prayers opened the door and that your friendship brought heaven near. Amen.